Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and we are so excited to be coming to you today with another fresh new guest interview. And this one's going to be really fun, really special. Actually got to meet Matt at Together in the Trades last year, right? It was an inaugural Together in the Trades event, and it has we kind of hit it off and kind of talked back and forth over Instagram and met up again at this year's event. So we might talk about that a little bit and see what you got out of it. But it's Matt Vallee. Right, Vallee. That name throws me off, but I was saying Vallee earlier and all that. But Matt Vallee with Vallee's Lawn Care. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing great, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing. It's a long day. What we're sitting here talking about. It's hot. It's just that time of year, man. We're like we're officially in the heat of the summer, like the grind time of spring rush is kind of settled that. Yeah, dog days of summer. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. So had a long day today. Just a lot of things going on behind the scenes, just staying busy, but then also just some stressful stuff going on. But everybody's got that stuff. We're not going to sit here and talk about my issues. I just want to hear about your business, man. I want to hear your story and kind of share it for everyone else to hear, because I think you have a cool story that I think a lot of people can resonate with, and you can help a lot of people out there. So just take it away, brother. I want to hear you and kind of how you got started and how you've grown to where you are today.
All right. Well, yeah, like you said, my name's Matt Vallee, Vallee's Lawn Care. This is, I reckon it's my 5th season full-time. I believe it was 2018 when I went full-time, got my business license, all that, DBA, all that, everything. So this is our 5th year. I was doing it on the side. I think it was 2014 was whenever I first bought my first trailer and mower. Had a handful of yards, doing my aunt, my grandmother, my brother, just a few yards here and there. I always for whatever reason wanted to run my own lawn care business. Me and my brother, I guess it would have been whenever I was probably in high school at the time, and we had a lawn care company here local that they were actually looking to sell out. And my brother had worked for them one summer, and he's 3 years younger than me. So he had worked for them. Whenever we found out that they were wanting to sell out, we contacted them. And at the time it was, I want to think they were looking to get probably like $75,000 for it or something. We went to the bank, we wanted to do that. And the guy at the bank, he's like, y'all are young. There's no way y'all can do this right now.
Yeah.
So that, we kind of, that fell through, and we were, of course, we were kind of sick over that. Well, a couple of years later, it kind of same thing. It never sold. So they thought they'd try it again. And I think they decided not to sell as much equipment or whatever it was. So it was about half the price this time. And he's like, well, let's just give it a try again. And, same thing. The guy at the bank, he's like, there's no point in it. He's like, just go get your own mower and start mowing yards. And I was like, well, it's not that simple. You can't just pick up your own yards.
There's more to it than that.
Exactly. So for whatever reason, we didn't go through with it again. Well, I'm going to say that was once I was on into college. So that was probably 2011, 12, somewhere around in there. Well, like I said, a couple years later in 14, I decided to pull the trigger and go ahead and just go buy me a trailer and a mower. It's kind of towards the end of the season, but I picked up a few yards here and there and was just kind of doing it on the side. Did that for a couple years. That whoever it was that ended up buying their company, I guess he wasn't doing too good of a job.
Yeah.
and the previous owners, they called me and they was like, "Hey, we've got several old clients that are calling us, complaining. You think maybe you could help us out with some of our old yards?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely."
Yeah.
So we I actually picked up a few more yards from them that way. So that helped me out. And I guess that probably put us around probably 2015, 2016, something like that, probably 2016, I reckon. And I went what I thought was full time, so I wasn't working anywhere else that summer. I was just mowing. Then it, fall came, wintertime came, and I was like, oh boy, I need something else to do, so I ended up picking up a part-time job during the winter to just keep funds rolling in and everything. And I did that for a couple years. And like I said, then 2018 was, we've really started growing, and now, well, I don't know where do you want to go from here? I guess you want me to get into what we're doing now and everything, and how big we've grown.
Let's go back to the to the growth story. Let's hear about that, kind of go into that a little bit more, and then we'll get into where you are today, because I'm sure there's a lot of things that you could hit on and talk about things that you've learned along the way. What were you doing back in the very beginning when you said you were still part-time? What were you what were you doing? You said you were in college, and then what happened?
Yeah. Right out of college, I was working on a farm. I'm a country boy here in rural Northwest Tennessee.
You could never tell by your accent. I don't think anybody would ever guess that.
Yeah. So I think I'm here in Weakley County.
Okay.
I'm thinking there's probably 30,000 people that make up the entire county.
Wow.
So it's like I said, we're small. We're real small. But I actually live in the biggest town here, and I'm gonna say there's probably, I don't know, 8 to 10,000 maybe here in Martin where we live, and it's a college town. We've got a small little university here, so yeah, it's like I said, we're real small here. So I was working out on a farm. For whatever reason, I just always wanted to own my own mowing business. Whenever I was a kid, I'd always get out in the yard and want to mow and everything. So
did you have any family members that were entrepreneurs or anything? Like what made you think about wanting to own your own business? Was it just something like a feeling that you had, or did somebody ever lead you that way, or did you look up to anybody that did it?
I mean, no, I come from a huge farming family. Like I said, we live out here in the country and everything. So my granddad, he was a farmer, and then he got out of it, I guess, probably in the 80s when things got rough. But then several other of my family members, they stuck with the farming. And so I guess I'm used to seeing that, working for yourself. So that's always been something I want to do, is just, I didn't want to have to work for anybody. So
let me ask you this. So what kind of farming do they do? Like, has your family done?
Row crop, cattle.
Okay.
Pig farming. Yeah. My granddad, his family, they were big row crop, corn, soybean, wheat, everything. Then they also had a lot of livestock. And then my wife, actually, I'm married into a farming family as well. So that's what they're big farmers. So,
cool.
So yeah.
So farming has always interested me. I know nothing about it, like none at all. I don't even know really how to garden, much less run a farm. But so what do farmers do like in the wintertime? Is that like if you're not a cattle farmer and like you're saying you're a crop, like do they grow crops through the winter? What grows in the winter up there?
I mean,
or does everything grow in the summer?
I don't know it all either, but your corn and your soybeans, that's what you grow during the summer, and that's what you harvest in the fall. And then you'll come in and plant some winter wheat, and it'll grow through the wintertime. Then you harvest it.
Okay.
You probably just harvested some wheat, back in June.
Okay.
But if most everybody around here, they run some kind of livestock as well.
Yeah. So there's like two sides to it.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. That's so what do you enjoy the most? The cows, or the pigs, or horses, or what is it that you like?
Well, I don't know. I enjoy row crop.
Yeah. Okay. So you like the cross
Yeah,
better?
I like being in the tractors and combines, all that, and but my dad, he actually works for the largest pork producer in Tennessee. He's the manager over one of the big hog farms. So yeah, that's what I grew up, around hogs, but
Yeah.
I couldn't do it every day. I don't know how he does it.
What's the most expensive combine thing that you've been in?
Oh man.
Tractor, whatever you want to call it. Those big, I see those ones going. So in Alabama, the place where I buy my my mowers from, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too. You're one of the only other. I think you and Stephen Cochran are the only people that I know that have been on the podcast that run John Deere. So we might have to talk about
That's
that
right.
a little bit. But the dealer that I buy from is a little up north for me, and he's a big same thing crop farmer. Comes from him, and he's got tractors up there. Every time I'm up there, I'm like looking at these tractors, and I'm like, holy crap! I mean, they're like huge, they're massive, and they got the closed-in calves, like dually tires in the back. I mean, the tires are 3 times as tall as I am, just about. They blow my mind. So, like, do you drive those things and all that?
Oh yeah. So that you're probably looking at 400, 500,000
No way.
for yeah, them combines, they got some, they got a hefty price. I don't know if there's much cotton down around. I don't know if they do much cotton down there in Alabama.
Yeah, there's
but, we got a few folks. I think the cotton pickers are probably up 750,000. Probably with their
crap.
Yeah.
How long do those things run?
I mean, it just depends on how well you take care of it. It's just like our our equipment. So
do they have like hour meters? Like you just run like what is the typical hour? I mean, what is I know like diesels they say like 200,000 miles is breaking a diesel truck.
Right.
But like what is how many hours is breaking in a combine? Like what do those things usually do?
Yeah, I mean it just like I said, it just depends on how well you're going to take care of it. I know that my wife's sister, her husband, their family farms, and that's who I help out the most is him.
Yeah.
But they usually, I guess it's like us, I want to keep a warranty on my mower is what I like to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I reckon they try to do the same thing, but I know that they'll get them up around 1,000 hours, which if you're only running it during the fall, I mean, you're not running it every day like
true,
we are, but still. So, but that's, you got to think it's doing a whole lot more, running all that stuff through it and everything.
How do they plant those row crops?
I mean,
is it just machines or are people still out there? People aren't actually out there putting stuff on the ground, like not on something that size. Yeah.
Yeah, you got big old planters. They've got them. I don't know. They probably got them as big as 48 rows. Can plant 48 rows at a time.
At one time.
Yeah. They're big time. It's crazy. So yeah, and they.
That's cool. That's very intriguing.
You can roll along. Yeah, you can roll along at about 5 mile an hour or so. So
really?
they've even got it now where they call them high speed planters. You can probably get on up to 10 mile an hour or so probably. So
10 miles an hour planting 50 rows at a time. Mike, you could plant some fields with that thing.
That's right. Now that's probably more out in the Midwest, where it's nice and flat, wide open. And you ain't gonna see anything like that around here. I'd say the biggest around here is probably 24 row planter or so.
Yeah. Man, that's cool. Farming is an interesting thing, and people don't realize. I mean, maybe you could hit on it a little bit. Like, to a 60-second rant here. Like, what is the importance of farming? Like, you're around it. People don't realize like the place that we're in right now in our country and the food supply and just all the things that go along with that. I'm not even educated enough to talk about all of it. But like, how important is farming, and how important are the farmers that keep us alive?
I mean, if you think about the row crop, of course, that's, we're going to get a lot of food, soybean, you get your soy meal, so much stuff comes from the row crop, but then you don't, the livestock side, you definitely, you think that's where you get your meat, and everything like that. But there's so many byproducts that we don't realize that, come from cattle, come from hogs. We don't realize all them byproducts, whenever it comes down. I mean, like chapstick, just all kinds of different little things. That's what I was going to say.
So what is one of them? Chapstick comes from something like, what did that come from?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a byproduct, from cattle or something, from the
all the
fat.
fat. Yeah, it's all the fat that gets thrown away, and you're putting it on your lips every day. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's just different stuff that goes into it.
Yeah.
Just a little ingredient.
That's crazy. So, what's another one? You know another one besides chapstick?
No, not off the top of my head.
Oh, wow, that's good. Chapstick's a pretty good one, though. I did not know that came from a cattle.
And it may not. You're putting me on the spot.
So. Well, we'll say it does. Nobody fact check us on that, but I don't know. That's good stuff. I believe what you're saying, though. I think there are a million other things that stuff probably comes out of that is just so important that comes from the farmers and the livestock and the row crop, the corn, everything that goes along with it. Is very, very important. Well, that's cool. That was a cool little diversion there. Farming is interesting, and like I said, I know nothing about it, and so it wanted to hear a little more about it. But so you worked on a farm, and that was when you decided to go full time, right? Is that where you going? I interrupted you and kind of stopped your story.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, so from there, that's probably that was where I jumped full time. Or at least what I considered was full time.
What was your full time? What did you start out with? You think like 10 clients?
And I'm gonna say I probably had 15 to 20 maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, that other company, whoever it was that bought them out, they weren't doing too hot on some of the yards, and they contacted me. It was like, hey, the people that we sold this business to, we're getting a lot of complaints, from our old customers. So they handed some off to me, gave me some numbers, to call people and everything like that. So yeah, I probably got up to 15 or 20 in that first year that I considered myself full time. So,
were you single at the time? How long have you and your wife been together?
Yeah, we got married in 2015. So it was right around us getting married.
Wow. So you had a lot of stress then. You had to, talk about that a little bit, like growing the business and getting married. I've been through that, but my case was a little bit different. Like I bought an existing company that had, we're kind of in similar spots. I think it's kind of the same boat. When I was starting out, I was full time, and I think we had 25 clients, maybe 30 clients. So I was like, man, I'm full time. This is it. We're working 5 days a week trying to keep up, and now we do that in 2 days. But what was that like? The experiences of getting married and having to provide for your family and just all that stuff while growing an infant stage of a business.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's one thing you can ask my wife. I really don't stress too much. I'm pretty laid back.
Okay.
But, at the same time though, that's you got a lot going on there. Like you said, getting married, starting up a new business. Of course, I was coming from a business a company that I worked for that, I had a paycheck every week. I had a 401k, I had everything that, what most people thought that, hey, you got it going on, and then I go and just, throw that all away to start up this business for myself, like, what are you thinking? So yeah, but like I said, I haven't looked back since, and I try not to stress too much, but at the same time, it was a lot going on, and I just, you take it a day at a time. So that's really all you can do.
Did you have any really hard struggles in the beginning?
Not necessarily. I just worked on it. That's all it was. That's how I was raised. That's how I grew up. I'm a country boy that likes to work.
I like it.
So that's all it was. So,
the world needs more of that. Just put your head down and go to work and provide for your needs and your family and everything else. So, well, cool, man. So you've been married. You said y'all might get married in 2015. Is that right?
Yep. 2015. Okay. Yep.
You've been married
October 17th.
I was coming up on, what's that? Coming up on 7 years then?
Yep. That's right.
Well, cool, man.
That's
and you got kids, right?
We've got a 4-year-old little girl.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
Yep, she'll be 5 in December. Oh yeah. It's great.
She got you wrapped around her finger.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I want a girl pretty bad. I'm definitely happy to have a firstborn be a boy. I'm happy about that. I wanted a son for sure.
Right.
But now that we're having a son, I'm like, next one I needed to be a girl. Like I want one because I grew up I never grew up around any sisters or anything. So I had 2 brothers and All my cousins essentially were boys, and so I never grew up around any type of girl sibling. So I want a daughter bad, but I'm
Understand.
happy for you, man. That's good stuff. So
Yeah.
tell us about where you're at now. I mean, you got married in 2015. Your infant stage of your business, so you've got 7, or I guess you said now is your 5th year full time.
Yeah. So like I said, 2016 was whenever I thought I was going full time.
Yeah.
I didn't even get my business license or anything, nothing
Oh
like
yeah.
that. I didn't realize that I needed to do that.
I've been in that.
So
Yep.
uh, however, my wife is definitely the brains of the family. So she's the one that helped me out there. I guess it was, like I said, 2018 was whenever I actually got my license and everything. Let's see, our little girl was born in December of 17, and my wife ended up getting a job through Farm Bureau. She works for the Farm Bureau Tax Service. So hey, there's my tax lady there.
Yep, that's good.
So
keep it in house.
That's right. I was actually working at our university, was what I was doing that winter. Let's see, I was on the grounds crew out there. I actually took care of all the athletic fields, so I got to
cool.
use the reel mowers. Shout out to Paul Jameson. I know he's a reel mower, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was out there using the reel mowers on the softball, baseball fields, soccer fields, and everything. So that was, I learned a lot. That summer. I was, like I said, I was there through the winter, tried to stick it out through the summer. I'd probably worked my way up to probably 35 or 40 clients by then. And like I said, it was that summer when she got her job through Farm Bureau with the tax service. And the raise that she got from the previous job she was working, just going to Farm Bureau, was more than I was making at the university.
Wow.
Just her raise. I was like, listen, I said, there, the main reason I was at the university is because we was needing that insurance, so I said, with you being at Farm Bureau now that we've got really good insurance through that. I said, I think it's time. I'm going to make that jump, and we're going full time, going to be a real business here. So that's what we did. And that next year, 2019, I want to think I just about doubled, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
I was just, yeah. So it was, I thought I was big time then, and so I'd say probably since that year, I think I've almost tripled from where I was that first time. I think, like I said, I had 40 clients, and today I think we're at about I think it's around 100.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only thing is we've got several that are bi-weekly. We don't have a whole lot of folks that get the furt and squirt. So we've got a lot of junky yards, so they don't, but I'd say probably 25 or so are bi-weekly, so I've tried to get them, split up. So it's probably 80, 85 yards that we're cutting weekly.
Yeah. That's a good amount, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely keeps us busy. So
what is your average lawn size where you are?
Oh, me.
Is it like garden homes or is it like big yards?
No, we've got a lot of bigger yards. I've got a few that are, I've got a few that are in town. I'm going to say my biggest yard, it's probably 4 acres or so.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple that are probably, around that size.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say most of them are probably around that 1 acre, so I can't remember who it was that I was talking. It may have been Lamont that I was talking to at Together in the Trades, but I was like, man, I couldn't imagine living in one of these neighborhoods, or having one of these neighborhoods where you just go cut, 30, 40 a day, And I was like, I think our biggest neighborhood here might have 100 homes in it, and so, but the real fancy one, it's probably got 50 homes, but anyways.
That's cool, man. Well, I mean, 80 something a week, especially if they're bigger yards. That is nothing to be ashamed of. That's a pretty good sized business. So what is let's talk a little bit of equipment. We don't really do that much. We don't really talk about what people's setups are, but what is your setup? Because I know I've seen John Deere on your page before. Is that what you run solely for
Yes,
mowers,
sir.
or do you run other stuff with it, or what does your setup look like?
Yeah, we got two John Deere 960Ms.
Oh, you got 960s. You got the big boys.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. I think they've got 31 horse Kawasaki's on them. I think they are.
Yep.
So yeah, whenever I first started, I had a 925A, and that I'm gonna say that that was the smaller of the commercial size.
Yep.
And then the next one I jumped up to was the 930.
Yep.
And then I jumped up to the 950, and I had the R, so it had the hydraulic deck,
Yep.
and then I realized that employees don't really
that's
take as good care of it, if you will.
Yeah.
So we decided to go back to the M's and jump up to the 960s, and they do everything we need them to do. So, and then I run all steel equipment. And the main reason for all that is the dealer is probably 7 minutes from my house. We've got a Tennessee Tractor, and that's, so they sell steel equipment, and my wife's uncle, he's actually a salesman there. So,
there you go. That's your
better be
hookup.
going.
Yep.
That's right. Right.
That's the way to do it, man. Yeah. So what has your experience been with deer? Because they might not be the best when it comes to cut quality. I'll say that they might not be the best, but one thing I've noticed about them is they don't break down. Like, have you had problems with yours breaking down? Like, mine don't break. I beat the crap out of mine, and they don't break.
I'm very rough on mine.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm trying to be either. We've got a lot of rough
It's just a lot of the property. Yeah, we're the same way.
Yeah. Yep. So, them first couple years, I honestly probably didn't even service the things like I should.
Yeah.
I know I didn't.
Yeah.
And I never had any problem. Just your normal wear and tear,
your normal
stuff like that.
Maybe a bolt coming out every now and then or something. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Other than that, no, I don't have any problems.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, that's one reason I want to keep the warranty is in case you do, and so that's what we're trying to do. We try and, I want to think it's probably a 3 or 4 year warranty, or $1,500, something like that. So we're trying to keep it under that to make sure we keep that warranty, because if anything happens, it gets replaced or fixed for free. And whenever they've got my mower, they give me another one to
run. So do you get a demo? So, where your dealer is, you get a demo?
That's right.
What dealer is it
that's
up
right.
there?
Yeah. It's a Tennessee Tractor.
Okay,
LLC
Tennessee Tractor. Okay, so it's not a big like Tri-Green or something like that.
No.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, well that's cool, man. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of them. And when I say they don't have the best cut quality, I just mean because people rave about Exmark striping and stuff. I don't have anything that I stripe, so I don't know. How do they stripe where you are at?
I've got a couple yards that I've got. It's a yard full of zoysia, and zoysia is going to stripe.
It's going to stripe.
So,
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And then I've got one yard that it's all fescue. We cut it at 4 inches, and I feel like it stripes just as good as any other that I've.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think the cut quality is good for where we're at least.
No, I think mine is good. I think mine's great. We have friends out here that run Exmark and stuff. They're like, they run Exmark and Deere, and he's like, I like the cut of the Exmark better. And so I don't know. I've never ran Exmark any extended period of time, so I really can't attest to it. I just know that mine never goes to the shop ever. Like twice in my whole history of owning it, it was gone to the shop. So, that is worth a lot of money to me. So that's really cool, man. Well, so what is your setup as far as like business, like employees and stuff go? Are you out of the field? You in the field? You got one guy, two guys, solo? How's it all set up?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely in the field. I guess it was 2020. That was my first year that I actually hired somebody. I had a young man reach out to me that I had known him about all his life, and he reached out and asked if I needed any help, and I I kind of thought, I was like, well, that would speed me up a little bit, I guess. I put him on a trimmer.
Yeah.
So we did that. And then, like I said, that would have been a year or two after I had went full time. So things really started picking up. I started getting more yards. About midway through the summer, I was like, dang, if I had another mower and we were both mowing, we could really get some headway. So,
Yeah.
so I ended up buying just another used 930, and we started knocking them out. And then the next year, I ended up hiring 2 high school boys that were homeschooled. So that worked out really good.
Yeah.
I had them full time, and dude, I was paying them. I want to think it was $9 an hour.
Oh my goodness!
But they thought that it was the
they
greatest
probably loved
thing,
it. Yeah,
that's right. They was like, man,
to
I
have those days
figured
again.
they was like, I figured we'd be minimum wage, $7.25 or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
So,
I'll give
but
you
no, they were
$1.75 extra.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, no, but they were real good.
Yeah.
They were raised a lot like me. They were hard workers. And now that's where I've still got one of them. The other one went off to college. We ended up hiring 2 other guys that are part-time because they're both college boys.
Mm-hmm.
So I got one that works Monday through Wednesday, and the other one's Thursday and Friday. So
Cool.
so one that's full-time, and then 2 part-time that just, pretty much swap days or whatever. So
cool, man. That's awesome. Well, that's it's fun, and it's really cool that you get to homeschooling is something that opens up so many doors for kids. And we actually just did a podcast with Beck the Beast, and it'll come out Wednesday. So this will come out Friday. It'll be out Wednesday, so it'll already be out. I'm sure some of you have already listened to that one, and she was homeschooled as well, and I was homeschooled, and just it opens up so many doors to be able to get out and get a job early on, maybe create your own business, do whatever you want. It just opens up a lot of opportunities for you in your future. So homeschooling is a really, really cool option, especially with today's what's going on in the world today. I don't know if I'd want to send my kid to school today with all the shooting and stuff that's going on right now.
Man, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
Completely understand.
Yeah. Well, man, let's wrap this one up. If you got anything else to leave us with, any words of advice or wisdom or anything like that?
Man, I know it's hot out there, but hey, just keep pushing, and it's going to cool down eventually.
That's right. That's right. Just look for the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's right. Like I said earlier, just take it day by day.
Yeah.
So
that's right. Don't stress. I think that's something that we can take away from this episode is like you said, you don't stress about a lot of things. You're kind of pretty laid back dude, and I kind of get that vibe, and I like that. I think everybody needs to hear that every once in a while. It's something that, especially right now, like it's hot, it's miserable. Like just the temperature alone can make a good day terrible. Just because it's so hot and so miserable outside. Nothing can be going wrong. You just have a bad day because it's so hot. Like nobody wants to be out there. But hey, you picked this field. Like you picked to run a lawn care business, so nobody else made you do it. But don't stress about things. Right. And hey, at the end of the day, it's just grass. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like it's just grass. It's just pavers. It's just whatever. Like we're not. I was talking to Ben, my guy, the other day, and we were literally sitting there talking. And I just said to him, I was like, "Have you ever thought about what we do?" And not like, yeah, we cut grass. Like, no, think about like the action that we do all day long. Like there's brain surgeons putting like nerves back together. My hand surgeon put my blood vessels back together. We take one blade of grass and make it shorter. And that's what we do all day long. And I love it. I mean, it makes a lot of people happy. It brings a lot of people satisfaction. A lot of homeowners, like, you're doing good for people. But at the end of the day, it's just grass. Like, don't get caught up in it too much. I like your philosophy there of don't get too stressed.
That's right.
So, well, man, I got one final question for you. We ask all of our guests this, and it can be complex. It's pretty simple, but it can be complex. And it's just pretty simple. But what is your why?
Well, like I mentioned, I've got a wife and a little girl, so that's. I mean, I knew this question was coming, so
yeah, there you go.
I was like, I'm gonna make this good. So that once I got to thinking on that, though, I was why is that my why?
Yeah,
I want to leave them with a good name. I want our name to mean something. You know, so everybody sees that name on the trailer, and I'm known in the community, and I want my name to mean something, to my family.
Yeah.
So,
leave a legacy.
That's right. So.
Well, awesome, man. That's good stuff. Like I said, I love hearing everybody's answer on that because it can be the same, but it's all so different every time. So,
right.
It can be different, but it's all the same. I don't know. Either one of those really makes it goes into play there. But I just like hearing everybody's answer at the end of the day. It means a lot to me to get to ask that question because I think about everybody's why, and I'm like, what is my why? And I constantly like adapt and change and update. Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And I think that's something that we should all be doing is as your family grows, as your business grows, like why are you doing it? Why are you growing your business? Why are you trying to make more money? Why are you trying to get into the community and be bigger? Like, why are you doing it? We should all think about it at the end of the day. Well, Matt, thank you, man, for coming on tonight. Where can everybody find you if they want to connect with you on Instagram or wherever?
Yeah, at Vallee's Lawn Care on Instagram. I'm on Facebook too. That's mainly just, for the local folks here, I guess.
Yeah, that's about how it goes.
Cool. So,
yeah. Well, good deal, man. Well, we will we'll put Matt's link in the show notes today, hyperlink to just take you straight to Matt's Instagram. So if you want to go connect with him, ask him a question or something, you can shoot him a DM there and just go straight from that link. We appreciate everybody listening in today and helping us grow the show here. It means a lot for the support that we've had over the past couple months and how the show's growing. We're continuing to grow slowly. It's a slow but sure process. It's kind of like the turtle and the hare. We're the turtle for sure, but we're getting there. We're growing one day at a time, and it means a lot for the constant community and support that we get here on the show. So thanks again for listening, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next episode. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.